As of November 22, 2025, tensions between China and Japan have escalated sharply into one of the most serious diplomatic crises in recent years, primarily triggered by remarks from Japan's new Prime Minister, Sanae Takaichi, who assumed office in late October 2025. Triggering event. On November 7, 2025, during a parliamentary session, Takaichi stated that a Chinese military attack or blockade on Taiwan could constitute a survival-threatening situation for Japan, which would potentially allow Tokyo to exercise its right to collective self-defense under Japan's 2015 security legislation, implying possible military involvement to defend allies like the United States. This marked a more explicit stance than previous Japanese leaders, who maintained greater strategic ambiguity on Taiwan contingencies. China's response. Beijing condemned the comments as egregious, accusing Takaichi of interfering in China's internal affairs, violating the One China principle and damaging the political foundation of bilateral relations, including the 4 China-Japan political documents. Chinese officials demanded an immediate retraction, warning that Japan would, quote, bear all consequences otherwise. Retaliatory measures included economic and cultural coercion, suspending imports of Japanese seafood, reimposing a ban partially lifted earlier, citing Fukushima wastewater concerns, but timed with the dispute, pulling or postponing releases of Japanese films like animated titles like Crayon Shin-chan and Cells at Work, halting talks on resuming Japanese beef imports, tourism and travel warnings. The Chinese embassy in Tokyo issued advisories urging citizens to avoid travel to Japan due to, quote, serious safety risks, leading to mass cancellations. Some tour operators reported 80% booking losses. This affected Japan's tourism sector heavily, as Chinese visitors make up about 20% of international arrivals. Maritime assertiveness. Chinese Coast Guard vessels conducted, quote, rights enforcement patrols in waters around the disputed Senkaku Islands, known as Diaoyu in China, on November 16, 2025, the first such high-profile action since the remarks. Additional drone activity was reported near Japan's Yonaguni Island, close to Taiwan. Rhetoric and threats. State media and officials warned of a crushing defeat for Japan in any Taiwan conflict, accused Tokyo of reviving militarism, and suggested the entire country could become a battlefield. A Chinese diplomat's social media post, later deleted, called for extreme measures against Takaichi. These actions appear designed to impose economic pain, stoke nationalism at home, and signal resolve without direct military escalation. Japan's position. Tokyo maintains that Takaichi's remarks align with long-standing policy and do not represent a change. Japan has urged de-escalation, dispatching a senior foreign ministry official to Beijing for talks November 18th to 19th, 2025, though no breakthrough was reported. Japan issued safety warnings for its citizens in China, protested the Senkaku patrols, and accused China of bullying. Domestically, the crisis has boosted concerns about economic reliance on China and reinforced support for stronger defenses. Broader context. Ongoing disputes over the Senkaku Diaoyu Islands in the East China Sea remain a flashpoint, with Chinese vessels frequently entering contested waters. Taiwan's proximity to Japan, just 110 kilometers from some Japanese islands, and vital sea lanes heightened Tokyo's stakes in any cross-strait conflict. Relations had briefly warmed with a Takaichi-Xi Jinping meeting in late October 2025, but the Taiwan comments reversed this. Current status as of November 22, 2025. The standoff continues without resolution, with China threatening further countermeasures if remarks are not retracted. Tourism and trade impacts are mounting, example, drops in related Japanese stocks, but no military incidents have been reported beyond patrols. Analysts describe it as a vicious game of chicken with risks of miscalculation, but also incentives for both sides to avoid full rupture, given deep economic ties. China is Japan's largest trading partner. Diplomatic channels remain open and international calls, for example, from Taiwan and Singapore, urge restraint.